Hello students, good morning. Today I will talk about the nervous system in human. But before doing that, I would give you a small piece of advice, that is always enjoy reading and learning the chapters, especially in biology. You will never feel the pressure. If you enjoy doing any work, you will not feel the pressure of doing that work. So same thing applies here also. So for especially for the ICSE students who think that their course is very vast in biology, or in for that matter in other subjects also. So my advice will be, just enjoy reading and learning these chapters. And in biology it's all about life. So naturally they are very interesting. So with that, I start the topic, that is the nervous system in a human. And what is the nervous system? First of all, you have to understand it is the system along with the endocrine system coordinates, communicates, and integrates the organs and the organ system of the body. So, because of this system, what is happening? It is controlling our involuntary movements and actions on which we do not have any direct control. It is also controlling the voluntary actions and movements in our body on which we have a direct control. Third, it is enabling us to think, to plan, to analyze, and also to memorize or to remember. And fourthly, it is enabling us to respond to any stimulus, maybe internal or external, and also to act according to the changes taking place in the environment. So these are the important functions of the system. But how they are happening? They are happening through specialized, highly specialized cells, which are called the neuron. So you have to understand the structure of the neuron also, children. So neuron, the specialized cell, which is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system, is having three parts: the cell body, the dendrites, and the axon. Cell body is the central part, which is having a nucleus and also having other cell organelles, except the centrosome, because nerve cells lose the property of cell division. Other than the centrosome, other cell organelles are there in the cell body. In the cytoplasm, some nasal granules are also there, some granules, and the extension of this cytoplasm are called the dendrites. And because of these dendrites, the impulses, the messages can be reached to the remote parts of the body, because they are intensely branched, and they transport the electric impulse from one neuron to another. And now this cell body, after the cell body, the dendrites transport the message to the cell body. From the cell body, the impulse travels through a long process which is called the axon to another neuron. And in between two neurons there is a gap, but the electric impulse is passing through this axon, which is a long process, and it is protected by a sheath in most of the neurons, most of the axons, which is called the myelin sheath. And between the myelin sheath there are some unmyelinated gaps, which are called the nodes of Ranavir. So this is the protection of the axon of the neurons by myelinated sheaths. And the outer covering is called the neurolemma, which is also there. So this is the structure of the axon, and the impulse is passing through the axon, and at the axon end there are some at the terminal end there are some bulb-like structures which are containing the neurotransmitters. The chemicals which are known as neurotransmitters, and these neurotransmitters pass through the gap and transmit the impulse to the second neuron, and these neurotransmitters uh, fire the impulse in the second neuron to pass through its own axon. So the most important neurotransmitter is the acetylcholine. So its function is to pass through this little gap, which is called the synaptic cleft, or this gap is synapse. Through the synapse, these neurotransmitters pass through and generate the impulse in the second neuron, which fires the impulse on its own through its own axon. So the impulse is transmitted from one neuron to another. So this is the structure and function unit of the nervous system, the neurons. And talking about the components of the nervous system, so there can be three components, that is the CNS, the PNS, and the ANS. CNS is the central nervous system, PNS is the peripheral nervous system, and the third one is the autonomic nervous system, ANS. So about these three components I will discuss in my next video. So I end this topic here. Thank you very much, students. Wish you all the best. Thank you.